BTS's concert in Munich became one of the most memorable moments in their tour lineup. Not only because thousands of armies filled the stadium with a sea of purple light sticks, but also because this concert marked BTS's first performance in Munich since their debut. This historic moment felt even more emotional as the concert reached its closing segment. When the last song finished, all BTS members stood at the front of the stage to say their final goodbyes to the fans. However, many people's attention was drawn to Jimin, who was seen stopping his steps several times to look at the audience. He waved his hand with a warm smile, but his expression was deemed different from usual. Several videos circulating on social media showed Jimin continuously looking at various sides of the stadium, as if he wanted to remember every corner of that night's atmosphere. He also bowed several times as a sign of gratitude before waving once again to the armies who were still chanting his name without stopping. To many fans, that simple gesture felt deeply meaningful. They felt that Jimin seemed heavy-hearted to leave Munich after experiencing the incredible welcome from armies who had packed the stadium from the start of the concert until the stage lights began to dim. Right from the start of the concert, the atmosphere in Munich was indeed special. The audience's cheers rang out loudly every time Jimin appeared on the giant screen. Even in between performances, chants of Jimin's name echoed throughout the stadium several times, making the BTS members smile repeatedly. Quite a few armies believe that BTS's first experience performing in Munich will always be remembered by the members. After years of traveling the world, they were finally able to meet fans directly in a city that had never been a destination for a BTS concert before. As the farewell session took place, Jimin once again stood at the edge of the stage. He slowly waved his hand in various directions, as if wanting to greet every corner of the stadium. This moment lasted longer than his usual habit in previous concerts, triggering various speculations among fans. Many armies admitted they could not hold back their tears when they saw Jimin's expression, which looked so sincere as he enjoyed the final seconds of the concert. Although he kept smiling, his eyes were seen as showing deep emotion because he had to end such a memorable night. Social media was immediately filled with emotional comments from fans. "The way Jimin looked at the audience before leaving truly made me cry," wrote one army. Another fan added, "It felt like he wasn't ready to say goodbye to Munich. His gaze said so much." Another comment read, "This is BTS's first time coming to Munich, so it's natural that the farewell felt so emotional." Meanwhile, another wrote, "I was fine at first until I saw Jimin waving his hand for so long. After that, I immediately burst into tears." Although there was no direct statement from Jimin regarding his feelings upon leaving Munich, his expressions and gestures were enough to make many fans dissolve into the atmosphere. This simple moment at the end of the concert actually became one of the most shared clips by armies across various social media platforms. The concert might have ended, but the memories created in Munich seemed destined to last, both for BTS and their fans. With many tour schedules still awaiting them in the next cities, armies are now curious whether Jimin will show a similar emotional moment again, or if Munich will remain one of the most memorable stops in BTS's journey this year. Just before the stage lights began to dim and the closing music ended, Jimin was seen slowing down his steps at the end of the runway. In the midst of cheers from tens of thousands of fans, he stopped for a moment and directed his gaze across all corners of the stadium. The sea of army bombs, still swaying to the fans singing, created a magnificent purple view. For a few seconds, Jimin just stood there smiling without saying a single word, as if wanting to immortalize that historic moment in his memory. That brief silence actually became one of the most touching moments of the night. There were no exaggerated movements or dramatic words, only a gaze full of gratitude which many fans felt was already able to convey his feelings. Several times, Jimin was seen nodding his head gently before waving his hand again toward the stands, which were still filled with chants of "Jimin, Jimin," from the armies. When he finally turned to walk toward the backstage, Jimin still managed to look back one more time at the audience. That simple gesture immediately triggered even louder screams from the entire stadium. Many fans admitted that the moment felt like a farewell they did not want to end just yet, especially considering this was BTS's long-awaited first concert in Munich. Video recordings of those final seconds quickly went viral on social media. Many armies noted that it wasn't the spectacular performance or choreography that stuck in their hearts the most that night, but rather those few seconds when Jimin chose to stop, look at the sea of purple lights, and soak in every cheer before leaving the stage. For fans, that silent moment seemed like a wordless thank you that will always be remembered as one of the most emotional concert closures on BTS's tour this year. The emotional reaction from armies flooded social media not long after the concert ended. Video clips showing Jimin's final seconds on stage immediately became a hot topic of conversation because many fans felt his expression that night was different from previous concerts. Although it only lasted a few seconds, that moment managed to touch the hearts of thousands of people watching, whether live at the stadium or through various fancam recordings. I've watched dozens of fancams from various BTS concerts, but Jimin's gaze toward the audience in Munich felt different. It felt as though he really wanted to remember that night for as long as possible, wrote one ARMY. The comment immediately received thousands of likes from other fans who admitted to feeling the same way. Another fan wrote, "He kept smiling, but for some reason, his eyes looked like he wasn't ready to leave us. His smile made me happy, but his expression made me want to cry." Many ARMY said that the combination of Jimin's warm smile and gaze was the reason why the closing moment of the concert felt so emotional. There were also comments describing the atmosphere of the stadium when Jimin gave his final wave. When Jimin waved his hand for the last time, the whole stadium suddenly felt silent to me. Even though everyone was still screaming, it felt like time stopped for a few seconds. This expression received many responses from other fans who admitted to getting goosebumps while watching that moment. Some ARMYs even admitted they only truly felt the sadness after rewatching the video of the concert's end. According to them, the more the recording was played, the more obvious it became how Jimin slowed his steps several times, stared at the sea of purple light, and smiled before finally leaving the stage. To them, that was the moment that made BTS's first concert in Munich feel like more than just a musical performance, but a memory that will forever stick in the hearts of fans. In the midst of the flood of emotional comments, various theories also emerged among ARMYs regarding the reason behind Jimin's gestures that night. It should be noted that all of this is fan speculation and has never been confirmed by Jimin or BTS. Nevertheless, the discussions continued to busily fill social media after the concert ended. Some fans speculated that Jimin deliberately prolonged the farewell moment because he wanted to enjoy BTS's first concert in Munich for as long as possible. According to them, the way Jimin stopped several times, looked at the stands, and then waved again felt different compared to the concert endings in previous cities. For the fans who put forward this theory, the gesture showed just how much that night meant to Jimin. Another theory suggests that Jimin was trying to capture the view of the sea of ARMY bombs filling the stadium for the first time in Munich. Many believed he intentionally took a few extra seconds to enjoy the cheers of thousands of fans before truly leaving the stage. While there is no evidence to confirm this, the opinion received a lot of support from fellow ARMYs who felt a similarly emotional vibe. There were also fans who believed that the incredible welcome from the Munich audience left a deep impression on all BTS members, especially Jimin, who is known to often show his gratitude through simple gestures. According to them, his long gaze and final wave were not just a closing greeting, but a form of appreciation to the fans who had made BTS's debut concert in Munich an unforgettable night. Whatever the true meaning behind that moment, one thing agreed upon by many ARMYs is that those few seconds before Jimin stepped off the stage managed to become one of the most memorable parts of that night's concert. To this day, the closing video continues to be shared and discussed by fans trying to interpret every smile, gaze, and wave from Jimin in that historic concert. With the tour still ongoing, Jimin's farewell moment in Munich has now become one of the most talked about topics among ARMYs. Many fans admit they will pay closer attention to every upcoming concert's closing session, curious to see if Jimin will show the same emotional expression again or bring another surprise to the stage. For ARMYs who were present in person in Munich, that night is believed to always hold a special place in BTS's journey. Not only because it was their first concert in the city, but also because those few seconds before the stage lights went out managed to create memories that are hard to describe in words. Sometimes, the most memorable moments are not the grandest performances, but a gaze and a wave of the hand that feels so sincere. Now, fans' attention has turned to the next tour stop. They are curious whether Jimin will again take more time to enjoy the sea of ARMY bombs in the next city, or whether the emotional moment in Munich was indeed something truly special that will not happen again. One thing is for sure, those final few seconds in Munich have left a deep mark on many fans. And if BTS's first concert in the city could bring about such a warm and moving farewell, a big question is starting to arise among ARMYs. Will Jimin once again leave the stadium speechless with another emotional moment at the end of the next concert, or will Munich forever be remembered as the hardest city for him to leave on this BTS tour?